Hello everyone, welcome back to English Cubby. Today we're exploring a famous Russian story, The Bet by Anton Chekhov, written in 1889. This is a powerful story about a bet between a wealthy banker and a young lawyer. The question is, what is more valuable, money or knowledge? Which is more important, freedom or wisdom? This is a simplified version specifically created for English learners. I will tell you the complete story using clear, easy-to-understand English while keeping all the important plot points and themes. You'll learn new vocabulary and improve your listening skills while enjoying this amazing story. Let's begin. The party. It was a dark autumn night. An old banker was walking in his study, remembering a party he had given 15 years ago. At that party, there were many clever guests. They talked about capital punishment, the death penalty. Most guests did not like the death penalty. They thought it was wrong and old-fashioned. But the banker disagreed. He said, "The death penalty kills a man quickly, but life in prison kills him slowly, so death penalty is more humane." A young lawyer, about 25 years old, strongly disagreed. "Both are wrong," he said. "Both take away life. The government is not God. It cannot give back life." But then he added something surprising. "However, if I had to choose, I would choose life in prison. Any life is better than no life at all." The bet is made. The banker got very excited. He banged his fist on the table. "That's not true. I'll bet you 2 million rubles that you couldn't stay in prison alone for 5 years. The young lawyer replied, "If you're serious, I'll take the bet. But I'll stay not 5 years, I'll stay 15 years. 15. Deal, cried the banker. I bet 2 million. Agreed. You bet your money, and I bet my freedom, said the young man. And so the crazy bet was made. The banker was very rich then. 2 million was nothing to him. But the young lawyer was poor. 2 million was everything. People at the party tried to stop them. "This is madness," they said. "The banker will lose 2 million, and the lawyer will lose 15 years of his life." But nothing could stop them. The conditions. They agreed on strict rules. The young man would stay in complete isolation for exactly 15 years, from November 14th at noon until November 14th at noon, 15 years later. The rules were, if he left even 2 minutes early, he would lose everything. He would live in a small house in the banker's garden. He could not see any people, hear voices, or receive letters or newspapers. But he could have books, music, write letters, and have wine and tobacco. Everything would be passed through a small window. He would see no one. The contract was signed. The confinement would be completely solitary. The first year. The lawyer's imprisonment began on November 14th. The first year was terrible for him. He suffered from loneliness and boredom. Piano music came from his room day and night. He refused wine and tobacco. In his notes, he wrote, "Wine makes me want things I cannot have. And drinking alone makes the loneliness worse." Tobacco made his room smell bad. In the first year, he read light novels, romances, comedies, and crime stories. Years 2 to 5. In the second year, the piano stopped. The lawyer asked only for classic literature. In the 5th year, music started again, and he asked for wine. People who watched through the window said he spent all year eating, drinking, and lying in bed. He talked angrily to himself. He didn't read books much. Sometimes he would write at night, then tear up everything in the morning. More than once, they heard him crying. Years 6 to 10. In the 6th year, the prisoner began studying languages, philosophy, and history with great passion. He studied so hard that the banker could barely keep up with his book orders. In 4 years, about 600 books were delivered. During this time, the banker received a strange letter. The prisoner had written it in 6 languages and asked the banker to have experts check it. If there were no mistakes, the banker should fire a gun in the garden. The experts found no mistakes. The banker fired 2 shots in the garden. After the 10th year, the lawyer read only the Gospels, the Christian holy books, for nearly a year. Then he studied religion and theology. The final years. In the last 2 years, the prisoner read everything without any order. He read science, then Shakespeare, then chemistry, then philosophy, then medicine. His reading was like a man drowning in the sea, grabbing at anything to save his life. The banker's problem. Now, 15 years later, the old banker remembered all this. Tomorrow at noon, the lawyer would be free, and the banker would have to pay him 2 million rubles. But everything had changed for the banker. 15 years ago, he was extremely rich. Now he was almost ruined. Bad investments and gambling had destroyed his fortune. He was now just an ordinary banker. If he paid the 2 million, he would lose everything. He would be completely broke. "Curse this bet," the old man said. "Why didn't that man die? He's only 40 now. He'll take everything from me. He'll marry, enjoy life, while I'll be a beggar. No, the only way to save myself is if that man dies." The terrible plan. It was 3 o'clock in the morning. The banker was still awake. He made a terrible decision. He would go and kill the lawyer. He thought, "The watchman is old and weak. It's a dark, rainy night. Perfect. After the murder, I can say the prisoner escaped." The banker took the key from his safe, the key that hadn't been used for 15 years. He put on his coat and went to the garden. It was dark and cold. Rain was falling. Wind howled in the trees. The banker called the watchman twice. No answer. The watchman was probably sleeping. "If I do this," thought the old man, "everyone will suspect the watchman first." Entering the room. He found the door by feeling in the dark. The key turned in the lock. The banker expected to hear a surprised cry, but everything was quiet. He went inside. A dim light was burning. The prisoner sat at the table. Only his back, hair, and hands were visible. Open books were everywhere. On the table, on chairs, on the carpet. The prisoner. The banker looked at the prisoner and was shocked. He was like a skeleton covered with skin. His hair was long, his face yellow and thin. His cheeks were hollow, his back bent. You would never believe this was only a 40-year-old man. He was asleep with his head on his hand. On the table was a sheet of paper with tiny handwriting. The banker thought, "Poor man. All I have to do is smother him with a pillow. No one will know." But first he decided to read what was written on the paper. The letter. The banker read the letter. This is what it said. "Tomorrow at noon I will be free. But before I leave, I must tell you something. I now hate freedom, life, health, and all the good things of the world. For 15 years I have studied life through books. I have not seen the real world, but in your books I have experienced everything. I have drunk wine, sung songs, hunted in forests, loved women. I have climbed mountains and watched the sunrise. I have seen everything through books. Your books have given me wisdom. I am now wiser than all of you. But I also despise your books. I despise all wisdom and all the good things of this world. Everything is worthless and temporary, like a dream. You are all proud and wise, but death will destroy you. Your history and your geniuses will all disappear. You have lost your way. You believe lies instead of truth. You think ugly things are beautiful. To prove that I despise everything you value, I give up the 2 million. I will leave 5 hours before the agreed time. This will break the contract, and I will get nothing." The ending. When the banker finished reading, he kissed the strange man on the head and left the room with tears in his eyes. Never before had he felt such shame about himself. He went home and went to bed, but couldn't sleep for hours because of his tears and emotions. The next morning, the watchman came running to the banker, looking pale and scared. "Sir, the prisoner has escaped. He climbed out the window and disappeared." The banker went to check. To avoid rumors, he took the letter and locked it in his safe. No one ever knew the truth. The deeper meaning. Chekhov makes us think about big questions. About value. What is truly valuable in life? Can books replace real experience? Is wisdom without people meaningful? About isolation. The lawyer learned everything from books, but he never lived real life. He read about love, but never loved anyone. Can you understand life without living it? About human nature. The banker was willing to murder for money. The lawyer became disgusted with everything. Both were destroyed by the bet. The message. Maybe Chekhov is saying, don't be extreme. Don't only chase money like the banker, but also don't reject the world like the lawyer. Real life needs balance. Experience the world, love people, and learn from books. Thank you for watching English Cubby. This story really makes us think, doesn't it? What do you think? Who won the bet? Would you take this bet? Let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed this story, please like and subscribe for more classic tales.